That really wasn't as fast. Oops, I'm an idiot. Just wheel spins. Oh, and that pitch. Man, oh man, that pitch. 0 to 100 in BYD have a bit of a problem right now, and that is kind of themselves, because Chinese cars exist. You have the new Geely Starray EMI. That is a plug-in hybrid from Geely, a competitor to this thing here, the BYD Sealion 5. That costs just $37,990. So something like a BYD Sealion 6, if that's too expensive for you, then this might actually be an option. You see, BYD have just brought in the Sealion 5, and they're going to bring it in for cheap. We don't know pricing just yet, but it's going to start at about 35,000 Australian dollars for a plug-in hybrid. That is insane. And so today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the new BYD Sealion 5. We are here in Australia. We're actually at Holden's old proving ground, Lang Lang. So we're really going to put this thing through its paces. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know: the exterior, the interior, practicality, and of course the engine specs, drivetrain, battery, and all that. And then we are going to launch it. We're going to see just how fast it is and drive it. How good is it on Australian roads, or how bad is it? Let's find out. Okay, let's talk about the design, because I'll be honest with you, I think this is probably the ugliest BYD, and there's a good reason for it. This thing has been on sale for a long time. It's starting to get old, not on sale in Australia, obviously, but in China it's been around for a long, long time. And so, yeah, this Dynasty face here, it's not really doing it for me. It just looks a bit droopy, and the bonnet is probably too long. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the design down in the comment section below. It is subjective, so I will say that. I do like these daytime running lights here, though. They're very, very cool. And of course, it is a very aerodynamic design, because this thing needs to be as aerodynamic as possible to be as efficient as possible. Coming to the side, you're going to see these 18-inch wheels. Actually happy to see that here. Even on this top spec here, we don't have final specifications yet, but this is a good tire size, even if it is rocking the giddies. But anyway, we'll move on from that. We'll see how that affects ride performance soon. You'll see a 360 camera. This thing does come with level 2 autonomous driving, which is quite impressive, even at this price point. You have maybe slightly tinted privacy glass. That's kind of okay. Roof rails at the top wouldn't be an SUV if it didn't have that. And otherwise, it's a fine looking SUV. Check this out though. These are your charge ports. In fact, a single charge port here. So AC charging only, although as you'll find out, the battery size on this is so small, it honestly doesn't even matter. And like I said, this thing is coming in cheap, so they need to keep it as cheap as possible. Speaking of the cheapness, look at this bum. It's a bit bare, don't you think? You do have a light bar that runs across the back. Sealion 5 spelt out there, BYD, and of course DMI, dual mode or motor intelligence. And you do get a power tailgate, which is actually quite impressive, even at this price point, though again, we don't really know final specs. As you can see though, it is absolutely enormous in the back. And this thing is only like a few centimeters smaller than a BYD Sealion 6. So like I said, if it can come in the mid 30s, that's actually gonna be very, very good value, and certainly a very usable space, even here in the bum. I'm kind of impressed by that. Let's check out the interior. Okay, so coming inside now, what is it like? And it's actually pretty okay. I think the thing you have to remember is that this is a cheaper version of the BYD Sealion 6, essentially. You do get this nice faux leather steering wheel with buttons here to control absolutely everything, including your digital instrument panel up in front of you. It's a pretty stock standard BYD instrument panel though. You can switch between like a few different menus, but it's really not all that much. It's fine. You've also got a 12.6-inch infotainment display here, which again is fine. It's got wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You do have to control your air conditioning controls through here though, which I just never love. It is dual zone climate control. That is good to see. And also these seats are heated and cooled again, which is also very good to see, but it's not going to blow your mind. It's what we've seen before from a lot of BYD products. It's fine. I do like the overall design, even though it is slightly older now. It is pretty functional. You've got a couple of air vents here, a fast Qi wireless charger. You've also got your shifter. It's a regular shifter, unlike a lot of new BYD models, and a whole host of buttons here as well, including driving in fully electric or hybrid, essentially letting the car just figure it out for itself. And you also have your drive mode selector there too. You can turn off your aircon, but really the aircon controls, they should be physical. I mean, look at the space here. There's plenty of space for it. Soft touch materials all around, including here on the doors, which is again good to see. And I've got to say, even sitting here right now, it is a relatively quiet cabin, which is not something I would have expected, even here at like 35 grand. Check out these seats though. These are pretty nice faux leather seats. Quite a lot of support and comfort, even though this thing does not have under thigh support, which you know I hate, but oh well. You got a couple of cup holders here as well. This soft center armrest is pretty nice with heaps of storage in there. What about your glove box? Yeah, plenty of storage in there too. Oh, not to mention this. I love a good panoramic sunroof.
Nice.
And that's pretty panoramic. Let's check out the back seats. I lied. I just spotted this. USB-A port, USB-C port, and of course, a 12-volt socket. So that's pretty nice to see too. Now let's check out the back seats. It was all going so well until I heard this. That feels pretty cheap and nasty. But let's get inside the car, because maybe it's not like that if we close the door. Yeah, it's relatively solid, but nothing mind-blowing. So, I'm 5'11", I've got so much room, heaps of leg room, heaps of headroom as well, and check out the toe room too. It's absolutely phenomenal. And my legs are also at a good angle. Check that out. In terms of amenity back here, we do get this fold-down center armrest with a couple of cup holders. These seats are also very, very nice back here too. And quality also is actually decent in the back. So, you wouldn't really expect it at this price point, but you are getting quite a lot. I've always thought this was pretty funny. BYD design. Thanks for spelling that out there. You got a couple of air vents back here though, and a USB-A port, USB-C port, and a little bit of storage there too. So overall, the interior is a pretty nice place to be, but you got to remember again, 35 grand. It's actually really spacious and roomy. And like I said, it's not that much smaller than a BYD Sealion 6, but it does feel cheaper than a BYD Sealion 6. Let's talk about the powertrain. So what is powering the new BYD Sealion 5? Well, much like the BYD Sealion 6, this is the DMI system, or dual motor intelligence, which means we have a 1.5 litre naturally aspirated petrol engine, and that is combined with a single electric motor at the front wheels. The engine itself puts out 72 kilowatt of power and 122 newton meters, so nothing special. This electric motor though, that puts out way more power and torque, 145 kilowatt and 300 newton meters. That means combined, this thing is 156 kilowatt of power and a max torque of about 300 newton meters. It's also coming in two trims, the Essential and the Premium. Now, like I said, you can get this thing in two different trims, and that means you can get it with two different batteries. The Essential has a small 12.9 kilowatt hour LFP battery, and that will give you about 71 kilometers, but on the NEDC. So really, it's going to be close to like 50 kilometers of range. If you go for the larger 18.3 kilowatt hour battery in the Premium, that will get you 100 kilometers of range, but again, NEDC. So I expect like 80 kilometers or so. But even when this thing runs out of fuel, you'll still be getting about 4.6 liters per 100 kilometers, which is actually very, very impressive. You know what else is impressive? That's right, CarSauce Buy. We have our car buying service, CarSauce Buy. If you want to get the absolute best price on any new car, including a BYD, just Google CarSauce Buy or scan the QR code on your screen now. We work with thousands of dealers and negotiate on your behalf to get you the best price possible. But best of all, it is completely transparent. You see all of the fees up front. If you don't want to pay for it, you don't have to. We'll still give you the quote. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you Google CarSauce Buy or just scan the QR code on your screen now, and my dedicated team of car buyers will help you out. Let's launch it. All right, time to launch the BYD Sealion 5. We're gonna put this thing into hybrid mode, which we are, and we're gonna put it into sport mode. Specialist timing gear. Let's time the launch, baby. We're just gonna stamp our foot. Here we go. Just wheel spins. It is a lot of power to be sending through the front wheels. Oh, it's not very fast. Come on, speed up. We're running out of road. Oh, and that pitch. Man, oh man, that pitch. We'll talk about that in a second. 0 to 100 in 10.58 seconds. I don't think this is gonna drive very well, but let's find out. Alrighty guys, driving the BYD Sealion 5. Yeah, that really wasn't as fast. Oops, I'm an idiot. Alrighty guys, driving the BYD Sealion 5. Let's put our foot down. See, this is what happens when you put gitties on a car, right? They just can't have any traction. Let's talk about the way that this thing drives. So, like you saw there where I braked really hard, in fact, let's just do it right now. The pitch of this thing is immense. It just rolls all around, which isn't the greatest thing ever. It also just doesn't feel very settled. I feel every single bump in these roads, and these roads are at Lang Lang, like I said, they are designed to simulate what it's like to drive in Australia, and it's fine, but it's just not the greatest, if I'm being totally honest with you. I will say, once you get it up to speed and kind of out of that lower range, it does smoothen out quite a lot, but the whole car has so much roll to it in every direction. And so you could see me as I'm turning here, you know, I'm just kind of going around some bends at like highway speeds, and yeah, it rolls a lot. I will say though, the drivetrain calibration is very good. In fact, I'd say it's better than like a Haval H6. It simply just goes. And it doesn't have hesitation. It's a really well-tuned system. Something about driving like an absolute hooligan on Lang Lang is it's just something funny about it. So yeah, something like a Haval H6 actually now drives significantly better because of its new damper tune through Rob Tribbiani. This though, it definitely feels like it's got cheap car underpinnings, but it is cheap, and you've got to remember that. And I think for most people, they're not hooning it around like I am, and if you're just pottering around town, then it's fine. It's fine. Steering too is extremely heavy here in sport mode. Let's change it back to normal mode and kind of go around this corner. It feels much more natural. So yeah, I think normal mode is kind of the way to have it, and if you plant your foot hard enough, you'll get the full performance. Anyway, let's go over these sine waves and see what that's like, these undulations. Oh, okay, so what you can see there is the rebound control is just not the greatest either. So I think this car has just a little bit to be desired. It's fine, but you can tell that it's cheap. I just wonder how a Sealion 6 would have gone around there. I wish I did a back-to-back, but the Sealion 5 is fine. 35 grand, it's okay. Much more than that, probably not. All right, let's get into our final thoughts. Okay, so final thoughts now on the new BYD Sealion 5. Should you be rushing out to buy one? Well, I'll be honest with you, this thing is very good at its price if it comes at 35 grand. Anything more than that and you really start to have so much competition. I mean, Haval H6 that now has an Australian tune done at Lang Lang by an ex-Holden engineer. This is still a Chinese tune. And even though that is more expensive, it is extremely competent. You have cars like the Geely Starray, again, another very competent plug-in hybrid. So really it comes down to price, but also looks. I just don't love it. I think it's a little bit uggo, but let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And of course, if you did enjoy this video, please do leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Love to have you around. And even though I'm in Australia now, I'm flying off to China. So I gotta go. Ciao for now.